The Pokemon Storytime words appeared in the sky, soft and glowing, in the yellow and blue Pokemon font, as if they were sculpted from sleepy starlight and fluffy white clouds. They bobbed gently, like a claymation style mobile over a crib, before softly fading away to show our friend Pikachu. This Pikachu, molded from warm, bright yellow clay, was supposed to be in bed. Ash had tucked him in, smoothed his claymation style fur, and booped his little black clay nose. But Pikachu wasn't sleepy. His little black bead eyes were wide open, looking out his window at the sky. He wanted more adventure before bed, and as if the sky had heard his wish, a fluffy white cloud, looking just like a claymation style staircase, drifted right up to his window. Pika! Pikachu giggled, a tiny, soft tink tink sound. He wiggled his clay ears. He gave a very big, very fake yawn, just in case Ash was listening. Pika, oh. Then, quiet as a whisper, he hopped from his bed, boing, and landed with a soft poof on the first cloud step. It was wonderful. It wasn't cold or wet. It was soft and bouncy and fluffy, like landing on a giant claymation-style marshmallow. Boing, 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 boing. Pikachu hopped up the fluffy white cloud staircase, standing for a moment on each step to bounce. He bounced past his chimney. He bounced past the tallest tree. He bounced so high he could see his whole town, looking like a little claymation-style toy village. He kept bouncing, up, up, until he bounced right through a layer of fluffy white clouds and found himself somewhere new. He landed with the softest "voomp" he had ever felt. He was standing on fluffy white clouds, but these clouds were a giant, soft, glowing floor. It was like a claymation style mattress as big as a field. He was inside a glowing sky castle. It was beautiful. The walls weren't made of hard, cold stone. They were made of fluffy white clouds that had been packed together, glowing softly with a warm, pearly light from inside. The towers were sculpted into the shape of fluffy swablu, and the windows were round holes in the clouds that you could peek inside or out of. Pikachu, his claymation style heart full of wonder, ran inside. The floor squooshed under his paws. He bounced from a fluffy wall to a glowing pillar, laughing his little Pika giggle. This was the best castle ever! He ran to one of the round cloud windows and poked his head out, looking at the sky. And that's when he saw it. Far away, distant in the sky, he saw a flash. It wasn't a big, scary "Quick-coom" lightning bolt. It was pretty. It was a softly flashing pink light, like a glowing firefly winking at him. Then another one flashed. This had a softly glowing purple. Flash, flash, flash. The distant lightning was flashing softly in a gentle, sleepy rhythm. But with the flashing, Pikachu's clay ears twitched. He heard a sound. It was a very big sound, but it was also a very sleepy sound. It sounded like rumble, snork. A flash of pink lightning followed the snork. Then rumble, snork. A flash of purple lightning. Pikachu tilted his head. That wasn't thunder. That was snoring. Someone in the sky was snoring lightning. Pikachu? He whispered, his curiosity glowing as softly as the castle walls. He had to see. This was his adventure. Pikachu was standing on the fluffy white clouds of the castle floor, and he followed the sound. Boing, boing, boing. He bounced inside the glowing sky castle, his little claymation-style body a bright yellow ball bouncing on the fluffy clouds. He followed the rumble snork up a glowing cloud staircase, softly climbing to the very highest tower of the glowing sky castle. He stands at the top, on a fluffy turret, and peeks over the edge, looking out into the distant sky. He gasped. There, flashing softly in the sky, was a cloud. But it wasn't a castle cloud. It was an enormous, living cloud. It was a giant, claymation-style Altaria, a Pokemon made of the fluffiest white clouds you have ever seen. She was fast asleep, floating in the sky like a giant, feathery, glowing blimp. But she was not sleeping peacefully. She was tossing and turning, her giant, fluffy white cloud wings twitching and rubbing together. Rumble, snork, she snored. As she snored, her cloud wings rubbed, and flash! A softly flashing pink lightning spark of static electricity zipped out and faded in the distant sky. She had the static snores. Pikachu giggled softly, but then he saw something else. Standing on a smaller, fluffy white cloud nearby was a whole group of little, round, claymation style Swablu, her babies. They were all in their fluffy cloud pajamas, looking very, very sleepy and very, very grumpy. Oh, Mama, in little clay, Swablu whispered, rubbing its clay eye. Her lightning is flashing again. I was just having a glowing dream about berries. Another grumbled, fluffing its fluffy white cloud wing over its head as another pink lightning bolt flashed softly past. We'll never get to sleep now. Pikachu, looking at the tired little Swablu and their softly snoring mama, felt his claymation-style heart fill with kindness. He knew all about static. He was the expert on static. He had to help. This was his glowing quest. Pikachu, he whispered, which sounded like I'll save you. He stands on the edge of the glowing sky castle wall, his little clay legs wiggling. He took a deep breath and boing! He leapt from the castle wall and floated softly through the sky, landing with a perfect silent boof right on the giant fluffy white cloud back of the sleeping Altaria. It was heaven. It was the softest, warmest, fluffiest bed in the entire claymation style world. He sank in up to his clay belly. Rumble, snork! A big purple lightning flash zipped right over his head. Whoosh! Pikachu upped softly. He had to be quick. He remembered what Ash did for him when his cheeks got too zappy before bedtime. A gentle grounding. Pikachu softly waded through the fluffy white cloud feathers, looking for the problem. Aha! He found the spot right between Altaria's giant cloud wings where the static was glowing and flashing and building up. He had to drain it away softly. He stands up tall. He took a deep, brave, claymation-style breath. Then he very gently pressed his own two claymation-style red cheeks onto the fluffy white cloud feathers. He didn't make a zap. He did the opposite of a zap. He pulled the static in. Zzz. A gentle, softly glowing stream of pink and purple lightning energy flashed out of Altaria's wings and into Pikachu's cheeks. His whole claymation-style body glowed softly for a second, a bright, warm, glowing yellow, like a little round lamp. He felt a big tick in his clay tummy, and then pop! The flashing stopped. The glowing faded. The distant lightning was gone. Pikachu softly took his cheeks off. He listened. Rumble. Oh, psh. The big, scary snork was gone. The flashing lightning was gone. Altaria, the giant, fluffy cloud mama, just breathed a long, softly sigh, and her glowing claymation-style face smiled in her sleep. She was finally, peacefully asleep. From the little cloud nearby, Pikachu heard a chorus of tiny, softly peeping chairs. The little clay Swablu were looking at him and flapping their fluffy white cloud wings silently. He did it! Hooray! Thank you, Yellow Spark friend! They all softly chirped, and Enbaiwa, they floated over and snuggled inside their mama's giant, fluffy white cloud wings, find their own glowing cloud nests. In moments, they were all fast asleep too. The sky was quiet, the castle was glowing, the distant clouds were peaceful. Pikachu, standing on the giant fluffy cloud back, suddenly felt very, very sleepy. All that absorbed lightning energy had made him feel warm and fuzzy and tired, like he'd just had a big glowing bottle of warm moo moo milk. He yawned, a real claymation style yawn this time, so big he softly squeaked, Pikachu! He looked for a place to rest, just for a minute. He found a perfect Pikachu-sized dip in Altaria's fluffy white feathers inside the glowing warmth of her wing. It was the coziest, fluffiest, most wonderful bed he had ever felt. He stands for one more second looking at the glowing sky castle softly shining in the sky. What an adventure. He curled his claymation-style body into a little glowing ball. His softly glowing light pulsed once, twice, and then just glowed steadily, a sleepy, fluffy nightlight on a giant, sleepy, fluffy cloud. He was fast asleep, standing guard in a way over his new sleepy friends inside a glowing sky castle, safe and warm. The Pokemon Storytime words softly reappeared, made of fluffy white clouds, and they whispered, Good night, Pikachu. Good night, sleeping sky. Good night, Pokemon.